Hello everyone, I would like to present the topic about the use of asynchronous communication to improve work productivity, the case of Thai design agency during the COVID pandemic. Due to the results of the COVID-19 pandemic, Thailand has recently witnessed one of the most rapid changes in the history of work. How to work communication was introduced in work from home, which is becoming the main challenge for Thai designers, especially the design agency. Designers in Thai design agency host the design job directly into the design processes. Asynchronous communication is one of the successful communication strategy in the remote working, which can be utilized as a communication tool in the design process for the design team. Nevertheless, the use of asynchronous communication is widespread, but not in Thailand. This study aimed to create framework that enable Thai design agency to effectively utilize asynchronous communication for improving work productivity. According to the objective of this study, to discover challenge of using asynchronous in the design agency and then create a guideline for a Thai designer to use appropriate asynchronous communication. By this study shows the qualitative method to investigate and explore the perception of Thai designers about using asynchronous communication. For findings, after collecting and analyzing the data from the interview, the personas and journey map were created. This study found the existing results from the interview and analyzes them into two personas for the peak majority of response-led pinpoint. Designers and art directors face the problems in the same category of the design process, but there are different pain points that they use to face. The problems can be put into a journey map including 4 phases in the design process. The first touch point is data tracking. In the plan phase, before going through a new project, they are always updating the status. Art director can see the overall progress of designer and is enabled to see a clear timeline of each designer of using the video meeting via Zoom or Google Meet. For designer, often confuse their progress with weak reference and evidence. And the second touch point is project brief in the plan phase 2. Art director was unable to convey the image and ideas to meet the needs of the customer with the designer from the document brief and messaging. And for the designer, unclear design and project requirements due to a lack of context or detail in the document brief. The last touch point is design review in the mock-up, build, and measure phase. Design feedback is crucial for art directors and designers. As a result, art director unclear detailed feedback, and the designer, they cannot see the clear objective for the feedback too. After getting the results of finding pain point in the design process, it can conduct to the guideline to use asynchronous communication, improving into each touch point of the design process. First, data tracking. There is the asynchronous communication method for solving the barrier at this point, such as project management tools like Trello, ClickUp, and Jira. And the next is project brief. Strong documents is the core of asynchronous communication. The organization should establish a standard state method of documentation. Knowledge management and collaborative work tools will support the design process like Confluence, Notion, Dropbox Space, and GitLab. And the last one is design review. For art director, it should be objective with comments to avoid hours discussing the same topic or over and over revision design again. And designer, design feedback in asynchronous communication is supporting the designer to collect meaningful design feedback. It could be controlling the environment in which the design feedback process is taking place, such as with a design feedback tool like Yak and UserSnap. So this study provided the asynchronous tools that can be appropriately approached for each design process and the best practices to implement asynchronous communication for Thai designers and other creative professionals. Thank you.